Every superhero has an origin story. The legend of the spectacular Shohei Ohtani began a decade ago, a world away. Across the Pacific, the legend has only grown. The spectacular Shohei continues to do the superhuman.
Shohei Ohtani, the spectacular one.
What fantastic feat will he accomplish next?
The spectacular Shohei pitches on a spectacular night here at Angel Stadium. It's game 2 of a 4-game series between the Los Angeles Angels and the Chicago White Sox on Japanese Heritage Night at Angel Stadium. Alongside Mark Gubicza, I'm Wayne Randazzo, and Gooby, we keep calling Shohei spectacular. We don't have a lot of words that we can use here in this booth, but for Shohei, he continues to dazzle every time he touches the ball or the bat.
Wayne, it's unbelievable what he's doing. He's swinging the bat exceptionally well. He's throwing the baseball very, very hard. And when you look at how many times he's hit a baseball over 440 feet, that's 8 times this year for home runs. Most in Major League Baseball. Home run last night went 446 feet with a 36-degree launch angle. 5 games with 10 or more strikeouts, second most in baseball, including 12 last time out against the Dodgers, which is an Angels record for strikeouts versus the Dodgers. And the only player in Major League history with 100-plus strikeouts, 25-plus home runs in a season. And we're only at the halfway point. He has been absolutely dominant, and he's absolutely crushed the Chicago White Sox. 13 home runs, an OPS of 1079, and also with 18 strikeouts and ERA under 1, Wayne.
And for all the mind-blowing things he does, he's got a shot at a 50-homer season at the plate and 200 strikeouts on the mound. Last night, a wild win. The Angels pulled it off with a walk-off wild pitch. We'll have more on that in just a moment. Angels won a game on a walk-off wild pitch. It's the only 2 walk-off wins they've had this season. The first team in the modern era, dating back to at least 1920, to have accomplished that. It took game 1. We'll see how game 2 goes with Shohei on the mound. Onto the field. He's the starting pitcher tonight. The Major League's home run and RBI leader on the mound for the Halos in game 2 of this series against the White Sox.
And he's been locked in of late, Wayne, too. I love the fact that he's been using all his pitches, especially his fastball. My go-tos for Shohei Ohtani to continue. Great balance on the mound and using his pitch as well as continued increase fastball usage. That fastball has been excellent for Shohei, touching 100, 101 miles an hour and keep the batters guessing. On the secondary pitch, he's been using his cut a little bit more than his sweeper, mix in some splitters and an occasional curveball. So as a hitter, you never know what secondary pitches Shohei will throw.
What we do know is he'll face this lineup weighted on base average. The league average is 320, really a formula that includes any way a player can reach base, and Luis Robert's been the best at it for the White Sox this year. Really one of the few above average offensive players the White Sox have had. Tim Anderson, well below average, certainly eye-poppingly well below average for Anderson this year as he bats second for the White Sox against Shohei tonight.
It'll be real interesting, too, for this White Sox club that are very, very aggressive on the first pitch, and Shohei Ohtani is around the zone so much, especially with his fastball, even his get-over breakable first pitch.
First pitch of the night is a cutter, and it misses to Andrew Benintendi. White Sox leadoff hitter has hit well for average, but not any power this year. 1 home run in Seattle about a week and a half ago. Drives this one to left center field, hit pretty well. Moniak goes back for it. He's at the wall, and he makes the catch right in front of the fence as Benintendi gave that one a ride. And there's one away.
Speaking of defense, tonight's our Easton and Easton defense. Hunter Renfroe back out in right field, 978 fielding percentage. 5 outfield assists, 62 over, 54 in right field. Moniak, we saw that play in center. Taylor Ward in left. Rengifo, Fletcher, Jory, and Moustakas back at first. Chad Wallach behind the plate calling the pitches, receiving the pitches, I should say, from Shohei Ohtani.
Now, he's not calling them.
Yes.
Make no mistake, Shohei is calling the pitches as Tim Anderson stands in for his first at bat tonight. And there's the first sweeper of the night that lands for a strike. And really, it was just because of the pitch timer. Shohei is particular about what he wants to throw. He'll shake off his catchers sometimes, and there really isn't time for that. So he's just calling the pitches himself. Saves time. And 2 sweepers, 2 strikes to Anderson. Called that a cutter on the video board. Either way, it's 0-2.
Usually Shohei Ohtani, when he gets to that 2-strike count, he will finish off hitters very effectively with a secondary pitch. Although we've seen some more fastballs, he might try to ride that fastball upstairs.
Rode the cutter upstairs instead as Anderson backs away from it. 1 ball, 2 strikes on the former All-Star, former batting champion in the American League.
See right there the target being set by Chad Wallach. He's making sure when he throws the sweeper, even the last pitch was supposed to be a cutter, it was supposed to be down. He's making sure he's tapping that dirt behind the plate at home.
Ohtani working ahead of Tim Anderson. The fastball is fouled off. One thing about Anderson, even still, and despite the fact that he has not hit much this year, he still doesn't strike out that much. A guy who will make some contact most of the time. Shohei, though, it's a lot of strikeouts. He has the 4th most in the major leagues. Will likely pass Pablo Lopez of the Twins tonight.
Anderson, he's usually one of the best fastball hitters in the game. It was 96 and then 98. Now you think you have a shot, especially a spot like that with a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. If you start that sweeper or even cutter, that same plane, and get it to go off the outside corner, you might have a shot getting a punch out. You got to be ready on that right side of the infield.
And there's the first strikeout of the night. Tim Anderson couldn't hold his swing. It was a splitter, and Shohei has his first punch out.
I like seeing that, Shohei using that splitter early in the game, and you see how that just tumbles straight down. When he throws that pitch, it's one of the most unhittable pitches in the game. It's his 12th strikeout this season. It's 172. A whiff percentage just under 36% with a splitter. Although usage of a splitter down considerably this year, still pretty devastating.
First 2 White Sox retired, and a sweeper to start Luis Robert, who looks back disgustingly back at Shohei. Like, come on, man, I like fastballs, don't you know?
There's a splitter again. He's got that working. Well, if he has that working early in the game, watch out if you're a hitter.
Ahead of Luis Robert, 0-2. And he bounced that splitter. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Luis Robert, who homered for the only White Sox run yesterday on a fastball. He's been the best hitter in baseball against the fastball this year. And Shohei Ohtani usually limits the damage on his fastball when he's on the mound. See what gives here on a 1-2 pitch to Luis Robert. And the sweeper is fouled off.
And just a little bit higher than he wanted to throw that sweeper. I'll tell you what, I'm liking what he's doing with his splitter already. He's thrown 3 of them tonight.
Swing and a miss. It was the splitter again. Shohei has found that pitch early. Struck out Tim Anderson and Luis Robert with splitters for a 1-2-3, top of the first. Take a look at our Carl's Cam replay. The Angels scoring 4 runs in the top of the first off Michael Kopech in Chicago. Included Matt Thaiss driving 1 out against Kopech in that first inning against the White Sox. Give you tonight's Theodore Robbins Ford Angels starting lineup. Weighted on base average, kind of a fancy on base percentage. Mickey Moniak has led the way for the Angels, although Shohei has done it over the full season. Brandon Drury hits 3rd tonight. Mike Trout getting a scheduled day off after he scored the winning run on the wild pitch to open up this series last night. I'm sure we'll see Trout if the Angels need him later. Here's Moniak to start the game. Swinging at the first pitch. Don't forget, Mickey's hit a few leadoff home runs this year, and he'll take his swings against Kopech.
And he's not afraid to swing at the first pitch, especially knowing Kopech's going to throw a high percentage of fastballs. He had a little over 62%.
Moniak rolls this one over to first. Gavin Sheets feeds Kopech.
And the defense behind Kopech for the White Sox today. Tim Anderson at shortstop. 967 fielding percentage, 6 E's so far this season, and 21 double plays turned. One of the best shortstop when he's on his game and feeling healthy. He's got a strong throwing arm. Jimenez out in right field. You got Roberts in center and Benintendi in left field. Berger at third. Sheets, you saw him make a play, and with Andrus at second.
Shohei Ohtani takes ball one. Tonight's starting pitcher batting second. It's Ohtani land here at Angel Stadium. Kopech pops the mitt with 95 to make it 1-1 strike. Shohei has hit .375 in the games that he has pitched in. His OPS 1130 in those games.
So far 0 for 6 against Kopech though for Shohei. So he's probably due.
Probably. Just one fastball in the wrong spot for Kopech, and it could be 1-0 right here. See what I mean? That is high, that is deep, that is gone, that is number 27 for Shohei Ohtani. Spectacular indeed.
He's just not real. 27th home run, 63 RBI. Shohei Ohtani all over that pitch. A four-seam fastball. Saving his energy. He's on the mound today.
I still got to wear the kabuto. I'll give it to Ipe. There it is.
There it is. Perfect. He might be looking for Sandoval.
He's going to deliver it to Sandoval.
That's so incredible. Wow.
1-0.
Right out to Ohtani land right away.
Yep.
Just wanted to say hello.
That is the 12th home run for Ohtani in the month of June. It's one off the franchise record for home runs in a single month, which he tied when he had 13 in June 2 years ago. Brandon Drury looks at a strike.
That's the third home run Kopech has allowed to the Angels in the first inning so far this year.
He's given up 17 home runs. That's near the top of the major leagues in home runs allowed. And as we were saying just seconds before, well, Kopech throws a lot of fastballs. He misses his location by little, and it's likely going to be 1-0. That's how on fire Shohei is right now. You can't miss to him.
Nope.
Now Brandon Drury off the end of his bat flies one to Robert. It's the 4th home run that Ohtani has hit in a game that he has pitched this year.
And his fastball's right down the heart of the plate at 95 miles an hour. Kopech gave a courtesy look initially, and Shohei, pretty good launch angle on that one also. 110.8 miles per hour exit velocity, going 418. Incredible sound.
Here's Mike Moustakas swinging through a high fastball. Moustakas had his first hit as an Angel yesterday. He was at the plate when Mike Trout scored the winning run on the wild pitch last night in the bottom of the 9th inning. Kopech fires in a strike to make it 0-2. Talked about Moustakas getting his first major league home run here at Angel Stadium back when he was with the Royals. He had a great tweet last night from the Royals PR director at that time, Mike Swanson, because he said Torrey Hunter held the game up to ask the fan who caught it to get the baseball back. Knowing it was Moustakas' first home run, Torii Hunter wanted to make sure, even as an opponent, that Moustakas got that ball back, so he stopped the game and got the ball from that fan.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, that's Torii Hunter, by the way. That's the great person that he is, especially the way he played the game of baseball on the field. Mike Trout learned so much from him.
Goes the other way and lines a base hit to left. You said it yesterday, Moustakas has really been hunting breaking balls, and he punched that one the other way.
He stays on breaking balls, whether they're curveballs or sliders, cutters, very, very effective. That's a great swing going the other way. I mean, that's a pretty good pitch off the plate. You figure you got a chance to get in a chase. He stays through it. Hands are quick and level, and he lines it to left field for a base hit.
It's been a bit of a resurgent year offensively for Moustakas, and it's easy to say, well, Coors Field, he's been playing for the Rockies. His numbers are actually better on the road this year, away from Coors Field, than they were in Denver. So that's a good sign that Moustakas' offense this season has been for real. And here's Taylor Ward, who would like to see his offense get a little more real. OPS under 700 right now for Ward. One ball, one strike on Ward, getting the start in left field. Hunter Renfroe is back in right field. Moniak's in center field with Mike Trout getting this game off. You have to imagine that for Trout, the scheduled off days have certainly taken care of his body through the first half of the year. We'll see how many more of those come with the second half.
Yeah, I said to him, that's a great read. Yeah, he goes, you know what? I'm still fast. And I just started laughing. He was fast. That stolen base, how quick he was and how quick he reacted on a secondary lead to score the winning run last night.
He certainly has picked his spots when to run. It was an important stolen base. He got to third, scored on the wild pitch, turning on the afterburners both times. You know, they've done it. Phil Nevin and the Angels staff, they've kept Trout healthy. This is the halfway point tonight. This is game number 81. And Trout has been healthy. So now you get to the second half. You think about a playoff run. This team is certainly in the mix. We'll see how many more of those days off come for Trout, but they've done the job. They have taken care of Mike.
Really have given everybody an opportunity to get a breather here and there too, whether it's Drury or Renfroe. It's been really good as far as finding the right time when Rendon or even when Urshela was playing, finding those right days off.
This team has used its depth. They've added depth even as players have gotten hurt. Now more guys have come in. Moustakas and Eduardo Escobar over the weekend. Moustakas will run here on 3-2. And Taylor Ward yanks one toward the left field corner. That is a foul ball.
When you're facing a pitcher, even though he's got a good fastball, you're going to see a fastball a lot. So you've taken away a lot of the guessing out about what you're going to look for. Even on a 3-2 count, just a little bit ahead of that one.
On 3-2, Moustakas will get another head start. Taylor Ward takes ball 4. It's the first walk. And now 2 men on for Hunter Renfroe.
Let's take a look at our play sense presented by Frontier. And Mike Trout on this secondary lead, over basically 12.5 feet. You get down there and he sees that baseball as soon as it hits the ground. It's at 16 feet. So you're talking about cutting down that distance to go. And that baseball is not that far away from Grandal, but he was quick on the reaction, get down there. 28.2 feet per second for Mike Trout to score that winning run last night.
Brandon Drury and Mike Trout. Probably watching Shohei.
Yeah. Now the thing about Trouty, he's always trying to help somebody. And that's the thing, and I've remember over the years, the guys are in that dugout going, man, boy, Trout, when he has that off there, even if he's DHing, he is always talking, always moving around in that dugout trying to help his team win games. That's a big at bat there by Taylor Ward. Good walk.
Eduardo Escobar made the trip back from Miami. He is a United States citizen. And Escobar getting on the plane, arriving here in Southern California about an hour and a half ago. So he is available off the bench. Joe Adell was sent back to AAA after a brief cameo with the big league team. And congratulations to Eduardo.
That's incredible. Yes, congratulations.
Ball 1 to Hunter Renfroe. You know, it's obviously it's an important thing on top of it all, but those are tough appointments to get, and once you get one, you can't let it go. or it'll be a while before you get another one. So Eduardo Escobar had to go, and he was able to take care of it, passed his test. A big moment for Eduardo and his family. I'll tell you about Eduardo. He grew up in poverty in Venezuela. It was so much so that when the White Sox signed him, Ozzie Guillen made sure to get Eduardo into a better living situation after he was signed out of Venezuela.
Everyone has said the best teammate they've ever played with, Eduardo Escobar. Saw that right away. His first day, he just walks into the dugout, and it's unreal. I was like, how long have you been here, Eddie? I mean, you've been here for like 20 years or what? Just smiling all the time.
2 balls and a strike as Renfroe takes strike 2. I was actually doing the Mets game on Apple on Friday when the trade happened. So we were doing a talkback interview with Francisco Lindor, and I asked Lindor about the trade, and he said it was devastating because Eduardo's not only there for you on the field, he's there for you off the field. He said he's just an incredible teammate. Renfroe stays alive, and it's still 2-2. A long inning here brewing for Kopech, 28 pitches. This is why his starts last about 5 innings, and that's it.
He can get wild coming into the game, leading baseball with 42 walks. He's susceptible to a stolen base, although you're not going to try to steal in this spot.
Now 3-2, and the runners will get a head start.
And he's about 83% of the time he will throw a fastball on a 3-2 count against a right-handed batter. So you got to feel that's going to come to Hunter Renfroe now, a fastball.
Full count pitch with the runners going to Hunter Renfroe. He's right on that fastball, fouled it back. Kopech threw it straight down the middle. The 30th pitch of this inning for Kopech. He's often in that 4 to 5 inning barometer of 100 pitches. He threw 86 in his last start, going just 4 innings. When the Angels saw him in Chicago in late May, he threw 102 pitches in 4 1/3 innings. 30 in the first. Now 31 is thrown by Renfroe for strike 3. So the Angels get 1, and it was Shohei Ohtani who delivered that 1. His 27th home run of the year. Spectacular, the word of the night. Shohei Ohtani just had. He struck out Tim Anderson. He struck out Luis Robert. And then he obliterated a home run. All in 1 inning.
Remember, he did that against the White Sox last season, beginning part of the year. Struck out a couple of 100-mile-an-hour fastballs, and then he hit a 115-mile-an-hour exit velocity 450 home run. The guy is just unreal.
Eloy Jimenez cracks one to the corner in left field. Extra bases for Jimenez. The first White Sox hit is a leadoff double here in the second.
And now it's time for Hyundai Key for the game today. Going some sticks there with Shohei Ohtani on the mound. Show me the way. Shohei Ohtani gives himself an early 1-0 lead now with a runner in scoring position to show me the way to get through and put up that 0 and maintain this early lead.
Andrew Vaughn, the batter. He's the DH tonight for the White Sox. Vaughn had a base hit yesterday. White Sox only had 3 hits. 2 of them were from Robert. It's a ground ball to second. This will move the runner over as Brandon Drury throws out Vaughn.
And we talk about how creative Shohei Ohtani is on the mound. In the first inning, used his splitter a lot earlier than we've seen. That one went straight down at 87 miles an hour. Strike out a guy doesn't strike out a whole lot. Tim Anderson, and he gets Robert the same thing. What a spot that was. Now looking to get that punch out here against Grandal, who hits fastballs very, very well.
Infield about halfway in for Grandal, who ended up playing a key role in the game last night. Remember, Yasmani Grandal didn't start. He was used as a pinch hitter for Seby Zavala in the 8th inning. And yeah, he's a much better hitter than Zavala. Still a pretty good hitting catcher is Grandal. But it was a real risk that Pedro Grifol took, because in a tight game late, well, Zavala is the much better defensive option, and Grandal's defense certainly played a role in how the game ended.
He had a tough time, especially the wild pitch that ended up resulting in the game-winning run.
Swing and a miss. Fastball that had some cutting action to it.
Yeah, that's a four-seamer, a true four-seamer with cut action to it.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Grandal. Shohei could use a strikeout here with a man on third. Jake Burger on deck. Soft bouncer foul keeps the count 1-2.
We're back with another fastball in that one. Remember, 2 strikeouts in the first inning on a splitter.
Just missed. If Bill Miller was umpiring the plate again, it might have been strike 3. Roberto Ortiz, the home plate umpire tonight.
Pretty close, but that's the right call, just a little bit off the plate. That's a pretty good take.
See with Shohei, when he gets to 2 strikes, more than not, he wipes you out. Trying to do so to Grandal. A foul off the foot of the White Sox catcher keeps it 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That sweeper a little harder than the one he threw to Jimenez, who doubled down the left field line. That was at 85. That one was at 88.
Grandal, another guy who makes decent contact, doesn't strike out a ton. Shohei has 119 strikeouts in his 90 innings this year. Swing and a miss. High fastball at 98. Shohei dials up the gas to strike out Grandal.
It's his 41st strikeout on his fastball this season. Runs that one upstairs after a splitter and then a sweeper, and then upstairs with the gas. 98.
Jake Burger, the batter, he has just 3 hits in his last 35 at bats. He fouls one off. Burger has been hitting into some tough luck. Batting average on balls in play has been very low lately for Burger, but as you see with the home runs, he has power despite the lower average. Burger also was working on a kind of a Mike Ditka-esque mustache, and I don't know why he shaved it. It's a good look for Burger. Yeah, he's kind of a beefy guy.
Yeah.
With the big burly mustache. Well, why get rid of it? Well, he's kind of a baby face Burger.
He's staying with the fastball against him so far.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Burger.
Remember, 2 punch outs in the first on splitters against right-handed batters. He started them on the outside part of the plate to get the punch outs.
You know, he might be Burger, but right now he's facing the king.
You're good today, Wayne. You're really good today.
Laid off the high fastball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, Shohei's fastball this year has almost not been hit at all. Opponents have hit 129 entering tonight, and over the last 14 years, that would be the lowest in a single season. 2-2 to Burger. Swing and a foul. Burger just got a piece.
That was a splitter. It was just a little more elevated. Shohei this season with runners in scoring position a little higher than we've seen in the past, but with 2 outs a little bit better than it is in normal circumstance. A chance to get through this inning, no damage.
Another 2-2 coming to Burger. And it's fouled off again. Burger had a long at bat last night in the 6th inning facing Reed Detmers, and ended up in a strikeout. It was a 10-pitch at bat or so.
'74 strikeouts on the season for Burger.
That's up there. Shohei trying to add to it and work out of the second. Left that one up, and now it's a full count. On deck, Gavin Sheets, a left-handed batter.
Been a pretty good at bat here for Berger. He's really worked hard here against Shohei, and Shohei's throwing some pretty good fastballs against him.
Three balls, two strikes. Swing and a miss. Got him with the sweeper. Back-to-back strikeouts. Shohei works around a leadoff double.
Shohei Ohtani didn't sport the Kabuto after hitting his 27th home run of the year. The Kabuto has been such a big part of their story this season, and on this Japanese Heritage Night tonight, the manufacturers of the Kabuto have actually brought an entire suit of armor from Japan to complete the suit, and it's on display for fans to see here at the Big A. It's called a Kachu. It's displayed on the terrace level, section 213, completing the Samurai Warrior helmet, the entire suit of armor. So the manufacturers had such an overwhelming response to Shohei and the team using the Kabuto that they wanted to bring the rest of it to share with their United States audience and the Japanese culture. Of course, we know it usually takes about 2 to 3 months to make this because it's handmade, but guys, they put a rush on it to get it to the team in 1 month.
That's incredible. It looks unbelievable. Perfect for tonight.
Kabuto is in top form, just like Shohei.
Yes. Yes.
Two balls, two strikes on Luis Rengifo. A lot of fans are using it to put it on the gram. That's what it's all about. That's what you do. You're always looking for a way to get it on the gram.
Yes. Oh, yes. I was going to say quite a few full counts for Kopech, but I just had to laugh at that one.
Yeah, it's a full count.
Yes.
And it's ball 4, so 2 walks already from Kopech. Leadoff man on for the Angels here in the second. I wonder if Rengifo now thinks about a stolen base.
I was just going to say the exact same thing. This is a spot where you think you got to take a shot. Kopech has allowed 15 stolen bases, only 2 caught stealing. 48 or 41 in his 7 in his career. And in Grandal, you want to take that shot just in case. He's allowed a number of his stolen bases, 59 so far this year, with 9 caught stealing.
Chad Walla couldn't lay off that pitch in the dirt. A lot of steals against the White Sox, a lot of steals against Kopech. You know, there was always kind of a comparison between Kopech and Noah Syndergaard when they were coming up. Syndergaard from Texas, wearing number 34 with the Mets, the big blonde guy, the long hair. Kopech kept his hair a little shorter. Really not a lot of difference between the two as they were coming up. Kopech from the same area, at least from Texas, and a guy that is trying to establish himself as a power-throwing major league pitcher. He's had some bumps along the way, certainly. Both having Tommy John surgery. Kopech's bounced back better from it than Syndergaard. There goes Rengifo. Throw to second by Grandal. It is in time.
Luis is not moving from that base yet.
Well, there's Ray Montgomery on the phone.
Felt like Andrus did a nice job of not giving him much room to the base, even though we have a bigger base now in Major League Baseball. He beats a throw, but he's got it blocked. That foot kept it there. Now, if you go in cleat first, you're not going to be able to put your foot like that in front. But he blocked it. Although he's got that hand in there. I'm surprised they didn't go after it and challenge that.
Because it came off. And with Andrus' foot right in front of the base, you know, Rengifo was in there. And then as he slid around, he kind of hooked the leg of Andrus and lost track of the bag.
Wow, he's really having some control problem. Quite a few pitches.
Another look. You see Rengifo got the left hand in. And then as the tag comes in, that hand kind of slides off. Although the tag was so quick, you know, Andrus really didn't keep it on him either. Although I guess he goes back to it there, and then
yeah, you see the separation of foot and hand.
Yep.
Good decision inside there by the Angels.
There's ball 4 to Wallach. So Kopech continues to miss. That's the third walk of the inning. I don't think Wallach's going to try to steal, though. The Angels 5K and Fun Run presented by Lexus at the Big A next Saturday, July 1st. Runners receive a shirt, medal, and 2 ticket vouchers. Register now at angels.com/5K. You running on Saturday?
Yeah.
You are?
Running up to the booth to hang out with you.
Well, here's Fletcher, almost had us running out of the booth yesterday.
Yeah, he was just smiling and laughed at me when I said, hey, you know, you almost killed us up here. And he goes, no, that wasn't that close. I said, hello.
We still have the ball in the booth. It's kind of oblong shaped after it took on the wall behind us. Of a loud crash that it made with the wall, but it's in here. Wallach is running. The throw to second by Grandal, and Wallach is out. It was a hit and run, and Fletcher swung and missed. So back-to-back caught stealings.
And a guy that generally makes so much contact, but this pitch was well below the strike zone. See how tough this pitch is to make contact. It's off the plate and on the dirt. And Grandal scoops that in a quick throw. He still has a good throwing arm.
Really letting Kopech off the hook because he's been all over the place here in the second. He has walked the first 2 hitters, and both have been thrown out trying to steal.
I still wouldn't stop that part of the game here today. Even though successful throwing out a couple base steals, you still had to be aggressive against them.
3 balls and a strike on Fletcher. And there's ball 4. Really, even the 1 strike wasn't close. Fletcher swung at it because of the hit and run. So Kopech's walked 3 in a row, but 2 out and a runner on first.
How often do you see that? 3 walks in an inning, and you still just have the man at first base.
Haven't even had a man get to second. Here's Mickey Moniak.
I still think, even though he's walked 3 batters in this inning, if you're Moniak, if you get something close to the zone, you got to be in attack mode here. He might be trying just to get something over.
Swing and a miss by Moniak.
An awful lot of pitches thrown here early for Kopech. He's fortunate enough that Grandal's made a couple pretty good throws, especially that last one to get Wallach where he had a scoop and throw.
Two balls and a strike. Maybe he'll just walk everybody. Shohei's on deck. Already 50 pitches thrown by Kopech.
Good pitch to drive there and just underneath it. A chance of seeing a slider here now.
Full count. Now Fletcher will run on 3-2. Michael Kopech has walked 4 of the last 5 hitters, including all 3 in this inning. If he walks Moniak, he'll have to deal with Shohei. And cranked a home run in the first.
6 full counts already in this game for Kopech. 6.
This is only the 10th batter that he has faced. Moniak pops it up. Berger in shallow left. And he makes the catch to end the inning.
Talk about him swinging the bat, but he has been spectacular in the zone this season. This exit velocity of under 87 miles per hour, that's best in baseball. Opponent's batting average second best at 214. Opponent's OPS 616 and 68 strikeouts and a 22.8% whiff percentage, 5th best. That is in zone.
Your goal generally as a pitcher is to get chases out of zone, but he's been incredible in zone and getting that kind of numbers and swing and misses. Amazing for Shohei.
That's the home run counter in Japanese. See how good I am learning Japanese now.
That's
I
fantastic.
could tell that was the home run counter.
Man, you're on fire. 27 wasn't a giveaway at all.
Gavin Sheets leads off the third. Ohtani has struck out 4, and he's hit a homer tonight. It's 1-0, literally all because of him. And there's ball 1 to Gavin Sheets, son of a big leaguer, Larry Sheets.
He was super strong, his dad, as Gavin is.
Couple of big dudes. Gavin might be even a little bigger than his dad. It was pretty big.
Yeah, definitely a little bit bigger. Strong, too.
Larry Sheets had 31 homers when they had that rabbit ball in 1987. That was his career year. On the first base line, Moustakas with the underhand flip. Shohei's right there. And there's one away in the third.
Good feed there for Moustakas. Shohei showing that appreciation to lead and be able to get to that base. How quickly he cuts that angle, goes right at the bag.
Mike Moustakas, a third baseman by trade. Most of his career has been at third base, so able to move across the diamond and handle first base as well. Here's Elvis Andrus, who, I don't know, maybe this is a surprise, maybe it isn't, but this is a guy with over 2,000 career hits. We saw Freddie Freeman the other night for the Dodgers reach 2,000 career hits.
He's had a lot against the Angels and a lot of career at bats.
Yep.
A ton.
On the past week, he played his 2,000th career game. So this is a guy who's been around a long time now. He was really young when he got called up by Texas.
He's really had a really good career. Very good career.
2009 was his rookie year. He was the Rookie of the Year runner-up that year. He's made some all-star games too.
Anyway, that pitch before at 96, he was late on. That was another in-zone swing and miss on his fastball.
In the air, center field, hanging up for Mickey Moniak. 2 up, 2 down in the third.
I don't think Shohei liked the sound of that baseball off the bat, so he got a new baseball right away, even though it stayed in play.
Throw that one away.
Yeah.
Back to the top of the order now, Andrew Benintendi, the batter. Benintendi in the offseason signing a 5-year, $75 million deal with the White Sox. The largest contract they have ever given out as a franchise. Cutter from Ohtani makes it strike 1. Benintendi was a first-round pick, number 7 overall, drafted by Boston in 2015. Got to the big leagues pretty quickly. Behind in the count here, 0-2 on a couple of cutters. One decidedly slower than the other. The first cutter was 90. That one was 84.
Yeah, the first one felt like more of a cutter. That was more of a slider or a sweeper.
There is still that traditional slider that he throws in addition to the sweeping slider. That's why the designations are a little different. 2 strikes on Benintendi. Still wears red batting gloves. Ohtani couldn't get him to chase out of the zone on that high fastball.
And you can almost, he's the hardest pitcher to guess what he's going to throw next. I would think after a high fastball like that, we'd go back to a splitter, but you just never know with Shohei.
I went to the cutter. Almost, it looked like a splitter at first. Either way, Benintendi reached out of the zone to make contact. He was lucky to do so.
So far today to win Shohei, because he's really working it over the last 4 starts or so, working on his balance over the pitching rubber. He's been taking that pitch timer down to about 1 or 2 seconds a lot.
Two and two. Tim Anderson on deck. Pedro Grifol says that Benintendi's still kind of battling a hand problem. He needed surgery in the offseason. Just missed there, ball 3. Shohei's trying to get that outside corner. He hasn't gotten it a couple of times. Really, it's Benintendi that maintains he's healthy enough to play, and the White Sox have kept him in the lineup despite those hand problems. Swing and a miss. Shohei Ohtani has 5 strikeouts in 3 scoreless innings. He's even impressed with himself.
I don't blame him.
The 7th home run of the year, extending his major league lead as he went over 400 feet against Michael Kopech in the bottom of the 1st. They gave the Kabuto to Ippei. He's the one that ordered it. There's the other guys who hit a lot of homers too. Matt Olson for the Braves, Alonso for the Mets, Luis Robert, who hit his 22nd last night. The other 3, they don't pitch every 5th or 6th day.
No, and they don't have 122 strikeouts on the mound.
They're all proudly residents of Ohtani land right now. It is truly remarkable. We were having this conversation earlier. I actually had it twice today. That even, and Max made the mention of this, and I was talking to John Lowe. He kind of said the same thing. Even if you cut his stats in half right now, it gave him half the strikeouts and half the home runs, it would still be unbelievable. It would still be one of a kind.
I mean, he's the first major league player ever with 200+ strikeouts and 25+ home runs in a season. He's done that in 80 games. Now 27 home runs.
He is on pace to reach 200 strikeouts on the mound and 50 home runs at the plate. Think about how difficult it is, and Shohei needs timeout. He thought that pitch was ball
by the way,
4.
he wants one of those pitches, those couple splitters he's had even closer to the zone. That was called, I guess it's in the neighborhood 3-0 pitch, but that was off the plate.
Surprised umpires still even give those neighborhood 3-0 pitches. It's 3-1 on Shohei here. And that's definitely ball 4, 5th walk for Kopech. This is Shohei's rankings in the major leagues as far as the things that he leads MLB in, all on the left side of the screen, and he's in the top 5 in the things on the right side. And that includes hitting statistics and pitching statistics that he is either number 1 or within the top 5 in the league in. That's ridiculous. Brandon Drury floats one to the right side. Elvis Andrus catches up to it and makes the play to first to retire Drury as Shohei scampers to second.
Well, you like to see the Angels start capitalize on this wildness by Kopech. Already in this game, 5 walks, a hit, and a home run allowed, but only 1 run so far into the 3rd inning. Thought that might have a chance to get through the infield, but Andrus, a very good shortstop in his day, covering the ground at second base, not only makes the play, but still under control on his throw. That just to be able to get Brandon Drury by that stride.
It's a ball in the dirt, and Grandal was able to pounce on it quickly enough to keep Shohei from advancing. But think about what it would take for him to get to 50 homers hitting and 200 strikeouts pitching in the same year. He's on pace for it.
Yes.
There are a lot of pitchers in Major League history that have been really good who never had 200 strikeouts in a season. A lot of hitters who never had 50 homers in a year. Hank Aaron never hit 50 homers in a year. And for him to possibly do both in 1 year, it makes you scatterbrained to think about it.
This opportunity for Moustakas here to get a base hit and bring home Shohei to be able to let him relax in the dugout.
At the end of the bat, foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Moustakas. Kopech has walked 5, and so far none of them have scored. Only 1 run coming on Shohei's homer in the first. Moustakas chases a ball in the dirt and strikes out. It's only the 2nd strikeout for Kopech, who fanned 10 the last time he faced the Angels. 2 outs here in the 3rd. I mean, at this point, Kopech has to feel like he's playing with house money to have walked 5 and not have allowed any runs to this point on those walks. That could change with a 2-out hit.
A lot of room on both corners in the outfield for Taylor Ward, especially left field.
Easy fly ball for Robert. And Kopech continues to be off the hook. For Shohei, and he continues to be sparkling. He's done so many times this year. That big strikeout on opening day against Ramon Laureano, 101 miles an hour. Broke up the breaking ball.
That was incredible.
Break.
That was unbelievable. I love that look by Melendez too when he looked at it. What was that?
And Shohei said, "That's right." Almost hit for the cycle on the day where he was the starting pitcher. Almost did it again in another start not too long after that. The ridiculous opposite field home run that he hit in Texas, 116 miles an hour. The hardest hit opposite field shot by a left-hander in the StatCast era. And tonight, 3 scoreless innings, 5 strikeouts. He's also homered in this game. Showtime indeed so far tonight.
Yeah, home run and a walk so far for Shohei. Everyone excited when we're talking Shohei Ohtani. By the way, that's his 41st walk of the season for Shohei at the plate.
Tim Anderson leads off the 4th.
And as always, on that right side of the infield, you got to be ready for Moustakas and Drury against Tim Anderson. He's really good as far as letting the baseball travel and hit the ball that way.
It's so easy to glorify players of the past, guys who feel like walking history books. Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig. Even guys who played in the televised era like Mickey Mantle and Willie Mays. It's easy to look to those guys as the giants of this game, the all-time greats, Ty Cobb, Cy Young. But we've seen all of that in one package with one player. And it is just an unbelievable privilege to watch this guy perform on this stage.
Really, he's been locked in on a number of pitchers on the other side who have pitched very, very well against him too on the mound. So his numbers, win-loss wise, could be much, much better. He threw an incredible game last time out against the Dodgers. Only gave up 1 run in 7 innings with 12 strikeouts, but ended up picking up the loss.
Swing and a miss. Tim Anderson strikes out for the 2nd time. 6 strikeouts for Shohei.
And he doesn't strike out a whole lot. That went down as a cutter. And when you start having a cutter go like that, and that's definitely a breaking ball, whether it's a slider or cutter. I'm thinking that's more of a slider than a cutter. Getting on top of that baseball, and it's got that downward action to it. Cutters usually have more horizontal break than vertical break.
I mean, you were there. You were teammates with George Brett. You were side by side with Bo Jackson. You faced Ken Griffey Jr. You've seen some of the greats up close on the field.
Nothing like this.
I think it's okay to say that this is one of the greatest of all time, and we're seeing one of the greatest stories in the history of this sport that is filled with them on a rather nightly basis.
Baseball
Shohei Ohtani
is driven by history and numbers, and numbers say this is historical as far as a player doing both like Shohei.
Three balls, no strikes on Robert, who struck out his first time. Good fastball hitter, so see if Shohei goes to a 3-0 fastball. Jimenez has the only White Sox hit tonight. He's on deck. And there is a fastball, and Robert sends it toward left, but Taylor Ward is there. Robert kind of got off the end of the bat a bit, and he lines out. There's 2 up, 2 down.
And he felt like he got that ball, Robert, the way he reacted. I mean, this is a pitch right down the heart of the plate. Towards the end of the barrel, though. And he was kind of shocked it didn't go further.
Two up, 2 down. Here's Jimenez, the only White Sox batter to reach base even.
Dropped a curveball, 69-mile-an-hour curveball. That had some pretty good vertical drop to it. The creative one.
Jimenez doubled in the second, made it to third, and was stranded there after a ground out and a couple of strikeouts. Shohei,
he usually struggles just a little bit. I mean, it's everyone else is a pretty good second time through, but 105 first time through, 267 the second time, then he locks it back in the third time.
Well to right, but Renfroe right there, and that ends the inning. Shohei Ohtani has set down 9 in a row, 4 scoreless innings for the Unicorn. These fine young men and women are from the USC sports journalism class. That's our friend Sophie Wimmer in the middle.
Fight on.
There we go. The Trojans headed into the Big Ten pretty soon.
Yes.
That's when you think of the Big Ten, USC, and UCLA. Midwest, baby. Hunter Renfroe leading off the bottom of the 4th.
65 pitches thrown for Kopech into the 4th inning here.
Renfroe trying to just golf one down the first base line. Well, we'll see the White Sox bullpen. Problem is that's been a pretty good bullpen. A lot of hard throwers down there.
Numbers against Kopech, all his pitches are pretty low. It's really been a walk and an occasional home run given up. The reason why his ERA is just a little bit over 4.
He's given up 17 home runs. Tonight he's gotten away with 5 walks.
I mean, a lot of those pitches aren't really close either. And
No.
a number of full counts. Behind the count again here, 2-1.
He had 6 walks against the Mariners June 16th and the Astros May 12th. To Renfroe with a fly ball to shallow right center. Elvis Andrus goes out and makes the catch. 1 out. Luis Rengifo will bat after we drive around with Hyundai.
It's your journey. Own every mile in the Hyundai Tucson with America's best warranty.
Rengifo walked his first time. There's a strike on the inside corner from Kopech. 96 miles an hour. Hard throwing Texan. Kopech actually was high school rivals with Patrick Mahomes, quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs. They often pitched against each other growing up. In fact, Mahomes threw a no-hitter in a game against Kopech's high school, Mount Pleasant. Rengifo hooks one to the right field corner. That's extra bases. We'll see how many as Jimenez goes to get it. Rengifo is headed for third. Jimenez finally gets it in. It's a stand-up triple for Luis Rengifo.
First triple of the season. Giving him out 10 extra base hits. Slider. lower, just below the strike zone, jumps on it, hooks it down the line, and Hifo thinking triple. He sees that down there in the corner. Just picks up Bill Hasselman, but that's a commitment you're going to make all the way standing up triple.
Now the White Sox bring their infield in for Chad Wallach. There's ball one from Kopech.
Chad Wallach, especially early in the season, so good as far as getting that baseball in the air and getting the job done. Getting it deep enough to get it, at the very least, a sac fly, if not more.
Wallach trying to bring home a run with a sacrifice fly. As a team, the Angels have hit 28 sacrifice flies this year. Two balls, one strike on Wallach. That is actually the most sacrifice flies by any team in the American League, 28.
It's a good situational hitting, and you need that right now.
Only one National League team has more. It's the Dodgers. So this is where sacrifice flies live here in Southern California. Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2 on Wallach. Kopech's only had 2 strikeouts tonight. Wallach had a high fastball there and fouled it back.
Usually when you see a swing like that, a pitcher's going to go back to a breaking ball now. The 26% slider usage this season.
Kopech hasn't had much feel for his breaking ball tonight. Grandal with a good job to stop that. Grandal's been much better tonight than he was coming in as a reserve yesterday. He's caught a couple of men trying to steal tonight, including Wallach and Rengifo back-to-back in the second. Now Wallach trying to knock in Rengifo after a 1-out triple. Check swing. Wallach knew that was ball 4, was trying to hold up, and the ball hit the bat.
That's one of those tough ones too. It's running in at you, trying to make sure you get something out over the plate to hit in the air, and it ran in on him.
Number 9 batter Fletcher on deck. Wallach fouls off another, so the pitch count continues to rise for Kopech. He's thrown 79 pitches. He's only recorded 1 out into the 4th inning. We're definitely going to see a good chunk of the White Sox bullpen tonight. So the Angels try to add to their lead here in the 4th. There's ball 4. It's the 6th walk from Kopech, matching a season high. And now David Fletcher, the right type of guy you want up in a situation that calls for contact.
And you never know what with Fletcher, because he handles the bat so well, that you might see. I think that's why you're seeing that talk now with Grandal with his infielder, that safety squeeze, push that bunt to the first baseline. It's possible with Fletch.
Fletcher has always been a pretty good fastball hitter, although he struggled with fastballs last year. But for the most part, he makes a lot of contact with velocity. Went too far on that check swing. Fletcher had a good game in Colorado on Saturday. Who didn't?
Yes, and he was really good with runners in scoring position, which he has been throughout his whole career. .559 this season.
No balls, 2 strikes on Fletcher. High contact, high average. It's always been the deal with Fletcher. Moniak on deck. Angels trying to at least get one more here in the fourth. And Fletcher yanks one foul.
The slider on the inner half of the plate just pulled it foul. Fletch so good on elevated pitches. Jimenez playing pretty shallow and right towards the line. Even Fletch won't swing at that one. This is a little too high for Fletch.
Well, if it's around the zone, he'll definitely take a hack at it. Ground ball right side. Andrews with a diving stop. His throw to first is not in time. Fletcher safe.
Yeah, don't look at that one.
Renifo scores. Fletcher will get an RBI no matter what. It's 2-0. It looked like Chad Whitson was about to pump his fist for the out and then changed his mind.
Let's see right there. Oh, that's close. I think if he rules him out, you might as well check it though for sure. There's a better angle right here.
Chicago is challenging the safe call at first base.
I think he might have gotten him. Just barely.
Now he looked out in real time and it looked like Chad Whitson was going to call him out, but then decided to say he was safe. Maybe he got wrapped up in the crowd.
But that's still a really good at bat by David Fletcher, making that contact. At the very least got the run home.
Yeah, that's what he needed to do, was put the ball in the spot where the run would score.
Andrews has made a couple really good plays at second base.
Look at the umpire. Nah.
Yes. I mean, here is the baseball controlled. It looks like it is controlled in the glove just before the cleats hit the bag there for Fletcher.
Yeah, but what if what if one cleat touched the base? Right? Now, what are they looking at in Midtown Manhattan? We never really know. Can we see Chad Whitson again? I want to see that one more time.
That's pretty quick. I think it's overturned.
After review, the call in the field is overturned. The runner is out. Chicago will retain their challenge.
Yeah, I think that was the right call. But this is a nice job by David Fletcher. He'll get some high fives going in that dugout, getting the job done, getting that run home. That close to being a base hit, but Andrews, two really good plays at second base today already for the White Sox.
2 outs. Runner on second. Moniak at the plate. For David Fletcher, it's his 7th run batted in.
Looks like there is some movement down their bullpen now for the White Sox.
Touki Toussaint warming up for the White Sox. 1 ball, 1 strike on Moniak.
Moniak 389 with runners in scoring position.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Toussaint had a brief stay with the Angels last year.
Impressive fastball, great changeup too. He could be a little wild himself.
Now, Kopech has been very wild tonight. He's walked 6. He has not at any point looked like he has had any command with his breaking pitches. And this will be his 90th pitch of the night, and he is not out of the 4th inning. This is typical for Kopech. This is why it's so befuddling for the White Sox to have a guy with a lot of talent who just can't get over the hump in terms of being consistent with his control, because when he is consistent, when he is throwing strikes, he dominates.
I mean, his batting average against him this year, 214. It's that impressive as stuff, but the control though.
Moniak swings through a slider, maybe the best one Kopech's thrown all night. It's 2-0 Angels after 4.
through 4 innings. He's got it all working, using all his pitches. 6 strikeouts. The splitter. First couple strikeouts of the game with a splitter. Then he goes fastball upstairs. Fastball away. His balance is great. His splitter's been good. And then that sweeper right there. Take a look at our StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. 6 strikeouts, 2 splitter, 2 cutter, 1 sweeper, 1 4-seam. 3 of them in the zone or touching the zone, and 3 chases out of the zone. That's how impressive Shohei has been so far through 4.
He's been outstanding, plus he has a home run on Japanese Heritage Night here at Angel Stadium. There's always a great Asian presence on the days that Shohei pitches, really every day here at Angel Stadium. So many fans that are paying such close attention to what this man does on a regular basis. Really gets to another level. The homemade kabutos here at Angel Stadium we've seen all season. On the days he pitches, it's more enhanced. It really is Shohei's show on those days.
That splitter just a little bit quick on his delivery. He knows he did that wrong as far as the front shoulder. See how quickly he can make the adjustment here. Well, he did.
2 balls and a strike on Andrew Vaughn. Vaughn jammed. Shohei's calling for it himself. He does it all.
I could definitely say with Shohei on the mound, pitchers are the best athletes. I'm comfortable with that one. He's calling it right away. And sometimes you can tell, but we talk about the high sky here, that twilight here. Shohei at the best angle makes the play. Battle back from a 2-0 count to get a pop-up to himself.
1 out, and the batter Grandal.
Remember, struck him out on a high fastball last time.
Two balls, no strikes on Grandal.
So back-to-back batters for Shohei, 2-0.
Three 3-0 now on Grandal. It's been the second time through the order where Shohei's had his most trouble this year. First time and the third times through, he has really owned opposing lineups. Sometimes that second time through is giving him trouble. There's a strike to Grandal.
I was in The Neighborhood one again. Isn't that a TV show, The Neighborhood?
Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Yeah. Cedric the Entertainer.
Well, he's not Mr. Rogers.
But he is in The Neighborhood.
And so is Grandal. He has the second hit tonight for the White Sox. Hunter Renfroe cuts that off, keeps Grandal at first. 1 out single. It breaks a string of 10 in a row retired by Shohei.
He had to throw that cutter in the zone. That's what he'll do a lot when he tries to get back in a count. He'll throw his cutter. So he will give up a hit and occasionally on this cutter. Coming in at .316 versus his cutter with 6 strikeouts coming into the game.
Here's Berger, who struck out his first time.
He's been throwing his cutter a lot more. When you go back to over his last 3, the percentage going up 14%. Generally will throw that a little bit more when he's behind in the count, but although he has thrown a lot more lately ahead of the count.
There's a fastball to make it 0-2 on Berger. You know, Shohei early in the season was so infatuated with his sweepers, throwing it a lot. Now he's really developed a mix of his pitches again. And it's made him that much better over his last few starts. The sweeper he allowed some home runs on. Really hadn't given up many hits on it overall, though. He was throwing it predominantly. It's kind of changed here of late. And the fastball is blooped to right. Renfroe with a good jump coming in. Makes the running catch. Throw to first to Moustakas. It's a double play. Grandal watched it happen. He gets doubled off to end the top of the fifth.
Another outfield assist for Hunter Renfroe. Gets it at baseball and knows he has some time. Double play.
The franchise record for home runs just in June belongs to Shohei, Albert Pujols, and Tim Salmon. That is also the record for the most home runs in any month in franchise history. Two others got to 13. Mike Trout in July of 2019 and Mo Vaughn in May of 2000. Shohei can tie that franchise record with his next swing. He's at 12 home runs in the month of June. He also has 25 RBIs this month. That's only 5 away from the June Angels record set by Vlad Sr. In 2004, Vladimir Guerrero had a 30 RBI month of June.
He's never homered twice in the game he's pitched, but that was a pretty good pitch right there for Shohei. Taking that time out.
Another record he has is the most home runs in a single month, while also making multiple starts on the mound in that month, hitting those 13 2 years ago in June, plus the 12 this June. So he can tie that record, which he set.
Wow, that's a pretty good pitch.
That's Shohei. We don't want to see him hit.
I know it's supposed to be on the outside corner, but that's the inside corner, and as a home plate umpire, you got a great view of that.
And Benetti's going to have to hold Beckham from jumping at the umpire here in the next booth. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Shohei.
That was an angry 98 from Kopech because he thought he made a perfect pitch against the most dangerous hitter in the game.
Now he'll have to make another on 3-2 to Shohei Ohtani. And a hard hit ground ball gets through.
That was a rocket. 110 miles per hour exit velocity. Wow.
Shohei's been on base 3 times. That's a leadoff single here in the 5th.
I mean, this is a fastball down, and he just stayed on it. His balance has been outstanding, both on the mound and at the plate. He had to hustle to be able to cut that one off before it got all the way to the wall.
Tonight, Shohei also set a record for the most home runs by a starting pitcher in the first inning of a game. He hit his 3rd home run in his career in the first inning of a game that he was the starting pitcher in. There's actually one other pitcher who hit 2. It was Carlos Zambrano, homered twice with the Cubs.
He could hit.
He could. He was a switch hitter, too. And he homered twice in the first innings of games that he pitched in. And Shohei's now done it 3 times, twice against the White Sox, including tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike on Brandon Drury, who's 0 for 2.
Look, another base runner here by the Angels. That might be it for Kopech. Bullpen going again. Brandon Drury's got a lot of room that right side.
2 balls and a strike on Drury.
.100 pitches now for Kopech.
Drury has raised his OPS exactly 70 points each month so far. He's at 743 in April, 813 in May, and 883 in June. So look out in July.
Yeah.
To keep that trend going, he's going to have to put it up another 70.
He can do it the way he's swinging it.
See what he does here on 3-1. Takes ball 4. That's the 7th walk for Kopech.
That's got to be it, I would think.
And here comes Pedro Grifol as the White Sox will have to go to their bullpen a bit early tonight. Kopech only records a dozen outs. He walks 7. And now Touki Toussaint will pitch for the White Sox as the Angels threaten to add to their lead.
Matty, what is your all-time favorite sports movie?
It's a good question. Probably growing up, it had to be Friday Night Lights. I love Mike Winchell. That was a good one, and the TV show was pretty good too.
Bull Durham is my all-time favorite. It has been for a couple of years now.
Well, there is something romantic about baseball.
Yes.
After all.
Yeah. What is your all-time favorite? It's not just baseball, any sports movie in general.
I like Major League. I like Bob Uecker's performance in Major League especially.
Yeah,
one hit.
That is pretty good. There's some good stuff in that one.
You know that X line. Leave me alone.
Yes.
Here's Touki Toussaint. Former Angel. Former first-round pick, too, Touki Toussaint. Drafted by the Diamondbacks, who we'll see this weekend. Arizona leading the National League West. Moustakas bounces one to first. Sheets throws to second for one. Anderson to Toussaint for the double play.
It's a pretty good turn there by Evan Sheets to get right there, make a quick throw, and have a chance, especially with that throwing arm of Tim Anderson. He leaves Toussaint to be able to get to the bag. Big double play for the White Sox there. Never easy to have a 3-6-1.
That's one thing the Angels haven't done tonight. They haven't kicked the door down in this one. They've had so many chances. 7 walks. None of those walks have come back to score. Michael Kopech is all over the place. 7 walks, 3 strikeouts. But to this point, just 2 runs. It would take a 2-out hit to make it 3, and it's 0-2 already on Taylor Ward.
Big curveball from Toussaint. Fastball with a lot of movement.
Two balls, 2 strikes on Taylor Ward. Toussaint, born in Florida, but he moved to Haiti when he was a baby. His dad was a presidential candidate in Haiti. It's a good reason to go back. Toussaint is Haitian and Kenyan. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Taylor Ward. And another walk from a White Sox pitcher. That is the 8th walk the Angels have drawn tonight. The Angels get on base. They have the 5th highest on base percentage in the major leagues this year. Entering tonight's play, the Angels getting on base at a .333 clip. The White Sox just .291. More than 40-point on base difference between the two, and that's only increased tonight with all the walks from White Sox pitching, but still it's just a 2-run lead. And here's Hunter Renfroe. And ball 1.
It's a big moment now for the Angels. You need those add-on runs, opportunities, a lot of base runners. Tell you what, Hunter Renfroe would love to get that pitch back there, that get over curveball in the inner half of the plate. He could do some damage to that one.
Renfroe did a lot of damage early in the year. He pops this one up, and it's going to reach the seats out of play. Touki Toussaint entered this game with runners on first and second, nobody out. Immediately got a double play ball. He walked Taylor Ward, so 8 walks. Still, the Angels' runs haven't come from any of them. A homer, a triple, and a ground out to make up the 2 runs. And the 8 walks have had nothing to do with it. There's a ball in the dirt from Toussaint to make it 2-2 on Renfroe.
Grandal's been pretty solid tonight behind the plate. He had a couple base steals. He's blocked some pitches in the dirt too. So solid effort defensively by Grandal.
Swing and a miss. Another wasted chance for the Angels, though they still have the lead. Sports brought to you by Hyundai. It's your journey on every mile in a brand new Hyundai. By OC Healthcare Agency, build your healthiest self at angels.ocnavigator.org. And by your local Southern California Cadillac dealers. Angels have a 2-0 lead behind Shohei Ohtani tonight. Before the top of the 6th begins, we send it down to Erica Weston.
Guys, you've been talking for weeks about solving the Ohtani puzzle. I have not solved the unicorn on the mound, but perhaps I have solved the puzzle. I have the last piece here. I've been busy during tonight's game. There it is. It's officially completed. Wow. So if my questions are terrible after the game, this is the reason why. So that was fun. I had some friends help me down here.
It's impressive.
And, yeah, I don't know if it's impressive. It took me 3 innings to get there. I wouldn't call that impressive, but it was fun. It was, I guess, a brain exercise. So we'll go with that. And my favorite sports movie, nobody asked, is Major League as well.
Oh, Major League too. Wow.
No, she said Major League, not Major League 2.
Oh, yeah.
Gavin Sheets leads off the 6th. Major League 2 is the one where the White Sox were the villain, though. Jack Parkman.
By the way, that was a pretty good curveball, lower part of the strike zone. Not called a strike on that one.
Nasty pitch there on a cutter, and it's a ball and a strike on Sheets. Then Andrus and Benintendi do up here in the top of the 6th inning. Shohei's at 72 pitches. Sheets busted his bat.
And that's what a cutter is designed to do, to get it on the handle of the bat. And that was a perfect one from Shohei.
Why did Erica finish the puzzle with a corner piece? Did you start with the corners and kind of build around the edges?
You're not asking me how to do a puzzle, are you? No. Perfect cutter from Shohei.
Two balls, 2 strikes on Sheets. Ohtani has 6 strikeouts. Just 2 in the last 3 innings. He had 4 in the first 2. There's a strikeout for Ohtani, his 7th tonight. Gavin Sheets strikes out to begin the 6th.
That was a nasty splitter. That's a 3rd strikeout with his splitter. This went straight down. You can see that grip. Starts at the knees, ends up just above the dirt. Great balance, drives toward the plate. Really liking that cutter here tonight.
Ball 1 to Elvis Andrus. Fly to center field his first time. 2 balls, no strikes now. After Andrus, it's back to the top of the order, and the 3rd time through. when Shohei has turned it up a notch. Opponents batting just $169 third time through the order against him this year. 3 balls and no strikes. Shohei hasn't walked anybody tonight. The White Sox have walked 8. But the Angels have only managed 2 runs. Nothing to do with any of those walks. There's ball 4 to Andrus. So the first walk tonight.
He doesn't walk a whole lot either. There was a time when Elvis Andrus would steal a lot against the Angels. He was really successful for a long period of time, not running as much this season, but usually pretty successful.
Andrus in his career has 341 stolen bases. He had as many as 42 in a season back in 2013 with the Rangers. He is the active leader in stolen bases. No one active has more career steals than that man right there. Still 119th on the all-time stolen base list. Swing and a miss by Benintendi.
It's a good run on his four-seam fastball.
Benintendi struck out his last time, one of the 7 strikeouts for Shohei tonight. Slap to left. Taylor Ward backs off it. It's a base hit for Benintendi. The White Sox starting to cook something up here in the 6th inning. 1st and 2nd, 1 out.
That fastball upstairs, he just went with the pitch. It's where the target was set. He just stayed on it. Remember, he missed a couple fastballs in that sequence that were a little bit lower in the strike zone, but that was upstairs. He just went with it.
Brings up Anderson, then Robert. Tougher spots now in the lineup for the Angels, or against the Angels here for the White Sox. Anderson has struck out both times he's hit. Anderson has good speed, but he hits a lot of ground balls, and therefore he hits into a lot of double plays. He's hit into 7 this year. It's just a byproduct, really, of all the ground balls that he hits. Ohtani drops in the cutter. It's no balls, 2 strikes on Anderson. Shohei with 7 strikeouts tonight. He passed Pablo Lopez. Kevin Gausman struck out 12 tonight. And the Blue Jays lost. They were beaten by the Giants. Houston also lost tonight. That's in there. Strike 3 called. Anderson strikes out for the 3rd time. Shohei's fanned 8.
And that backup cutter gets the inside corner. Nice job of presenting that well too by Chad Wallach. He just kept that glove there. Didn't move it a whole lot. If you move it a lot, it's going to be tough to get that call. Just enough to frame it.
Here's Robert 0 for 2. Hit the ball sharply as the last time, but lined out to left. Most dangerous hitter in this White Sox lineup is Robert. Takes ball 1 from Ohtani. A 1-out walk, then a base hit. And Shohei has struck out a couple of batters around that, as he pitches with some traffic for really one of the few times tonight. Robert launches that one, but well foul.
It's another one of those either cutter or sweeper on the inside part of the plate. It's a dangerous pitch, although a sweeper like that with the velocity on the pitch, it's going to be 85. It's tough to keep that one fair, but you don't want to stay inside there too often against Robert, so strong.
You can get Robert to chase. Fastball right on the dot of the outside corner, 99.
That's the hardest fastball he has thrown tonight.
And we've seen him dial it up big in moments like this. Men in scoring position, getting later in a game. Shohei finds the big fastball. 1-2 coming to Luis Robert. And he reaches out, lofts one toward the left field corner. It is deep down the line. It is foul.
Cutter again.
And Robert well out in front of it. Not too often you see a matchup like this. The man who leads the league in homers against the man who is second in the league in homers. But everything is rare when it's Shohei. Everything is unique.
Looking for this punch out to finish off the inning here now for Shohei.
On 1-2, Robert swings and misses, strike 3. It's the third strikeout of the inning. The spectacular Shohei has fanned 9 in 6 shutout innings to maintain a 2-0 lead on the White Sox. To score than the White Sox have. The Angels have only managed 2 runs despite being walked 8 times in this game. Luis Rengifo creating one of the runs with a triple to the right field corner his last time. He scored on a ground down. Touki Toussaint replaced Michael Kopech in the 5th inning. He's still out there for the 6th.
Well, you still feel you got to add on because right away that last half inning, the White Sox had an opportunity with 2 runners on, representing the tying run to go ahead run at the plate. In a game where you feel you can have a significant lead, but they've made some pitches to get through.
Shohei had 91 pitches in 6 innings. Figure he's going to get 1 more, and that'll be that. So the Angels will need 2 innings out of their bullpen. Certainly Estevez will be available today. He only threw 5 pitches in the 9th inning yesterday. Bounce to Elvis Andrus at second base. Almost walked it all the way to first to throw out Rengifo. Away as Wallach will be the batter. Surfs Up at the Big A this Saturday, July 1st. The first 25,000 fans will receive a Trout Ohtani City Connect bobblehead courtesy of Yakult Probiotic Drink. Before the Halos take on the Diamondbacks at 7 p.m. Visit angels.com/promotions. Wallach has walked twice. The Angels have walked 8 times. And go back to the 2nd inning. 2 runners, including Wallach, were thrown out trying to steal. And Rengifo on a straight steal. Wallach, after David Fletcher swung and missed on a ball in the dirt, and now Wallach swings and misses for a strikeout.
Yeah, that was a hit and run, a real tough one for David Fletcher to make contact with.
Fletcher with that RBI in the 4th inning. The other Angels run came from a Shohei home run in the 1st.
Son generally keeps his pitches downstairs, so it's difficult to be able to drive the ball in the air. You're going to more likely have to hit it on the ground or on the line against him, unless it's a mistake up.
There's a fly ball to left. Easy for Benintendi. And Toussaint works a 1-2-3 inning. Nissan. Explore great deals at the Nissan Thrill of the Drive sales event. Shop NissanUSA.com. And by Jack in the Box, introducing Snoop's Munchie Meal. Available for a limited time only at Jack in the Box. Japanese Heritage Night here at Angel Stadium. Shohei Ohtani Appreciation Night developing once again. 9 strikeouts in 6 scoreless innings. He's also homered for one of the 2 Angels runs, and this will likely be his last inning on the mound as he begins the 7th against Eloy Jimenez. Hard up the middle and a base hit. Jimenez has his 2nd tonight, and the White Sox have their leadoff man on here in the 7th inning.
That baseball was hit 110 miles per hour right back up the middle. Whew. Wow.
Here's Andrew Vaughn, fouled out to Ohtani his last time.
Dangerous pitch upstairs there. That's a guy with some pretty good power. 32 extra base hits. The guy, if you get a ball on the ground in an infield, you can get a double play with. Shohei's had 10 ground ball double plays turned behind him this year.
This one fouled back just over our booth, and it's quickly 0-2 on Vaughn, who was the number 3 overall pick in 2019. The 2 men drafted ahead of him were Adley Rutschman and Bobby Witt Jr.
See Jacob Webb moving around now.
Webb worked an inning yesterday. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Vaughn. Season high for pitches by Ohtani came in his 2nd start this year. He threw 111 against the Mariners April 5th. To 101 in his last start, striking out a dozen. On fouls, actually, did he miss that? He did. That's strike 3, and the 10th strikeout for Ohtani comes on a wild pitch. The batter automatically out with a man on first, but Jimenez goes to second as Shohei reaches his 10th strikeout tonight.
That's another elevated pitch. That's a sweeper way above the strike zone. And I think what had happened on that one too was Chad Wallach was anticipating that pitch going down. And it just stayed flat upstairs. And a lot of pitches upstairs. That's what you get a little bit concerned about from Shohei. Elevation on a lot of his pitches, even that one again.
You would see Grandal upset with himself that he could only foul that one off. Ohtani nearing 100 pitches now. He has struck out 10, another 10 strikeout game for Shohei. Wave and a miss by Grandal. Ohtani now with 16 double-digit strikeout games since the start of last year. That's the most in the majors. He has 6 this year.
Almost got him to go after that one.
Jake Burger follows Grandal as Shohei gets near the end of his night. Jacob Webb begins to throw in the Angels bullpen. It's a close game, largely because the Angels have squandered a lot of opportunities. 8 walks have not come around to score. One and 2 coming to Yasmani Grandal. Just missed.
Trying to go back door with that sweeper.
Could be a profitable night for the Angels in terms of the standings. The Blue Jays lost, the Astros lost, the Yankees are losing. The Angels trying to lock one down against the White Sox. It's a full count on Grandal.
And he's starting to look like he's having a tougher feel for his pitches right now.
So much trust for Shohei. Phil Nevin will let him go as long as he thinks he can. It's 3-2. And it's off the outside corner, ball 4. The second walk issued. Gives the White Sox runners on first and second as Matt Wise calls the bullpen. Now Matt Wise will head to the mound. Ippei will follow him out there. And we'll do that. And here's Snoop.
Yo, Jack, that a baked brownie in my munchie meal?
You know it, Snoop.
Say less.
Snoop and Jack in the box.
Yes.
What else do you need?
That's a great combo.
Grandal has come out for a pinch runner as the White Sox send Clint Frazier to first base. Seby Zavala will catch the rest of the night. Kind of the opposite of last night, where now the White Sox, instead of weakening their defense late in the game, they'll weaken their offense in a game where they at the moment are behind, but they do get a little faster at first base now with Frazier running.
Doesn't happen too often where Shohei's an 0-2 count and end up walking the batter.
Shohei is motioning to the training staff, and now Mike Frostad comes out with Phil Nevin. And Shohei might be coming out of this game as Ippei fills Phil Nevin in. And immediately Phil Nevin points to the bullpen. So Shohei will exit at 102 pitches. So it looks like he'll stay in the game overall, just not on the mound, as he leaves after throwing 102 pitches over 6 1/3 innings and gives way to Jacob Webb here in the 7th.
And because of it, and it's an injury on the pitching side, take out for Shohei Ohtani. Webb has as much time, although he probably was already ready.
He doesn't look terribly alarmed. He's sitting in the dugout with Ippei. Doesn't seem to be anything overwhelmingly wrong here.
If you see him, he's looking at his finger. I think part of it because he threw a lot more splitters today, and it was a really, really good pitch today.
His next start would be next week in San Diego, and then he wouldn't pitch again until after the All-Star break. With an off day next Thursday, the Angels can play with some extra time after the next start for Ohtani. He's out of the game as far as pitching goes, and now Jake Burger faces Jacob Webb. We saw Webb work an inning yesterday. A good pitch to start the night against Burger. Webb worked a 1-2-3 eighth inning, had 2 strikeouts last night. And the Angels will now need 8 outs from the bullpen to steer this one into the garage. Ground ball left side. Fletcher with a dive, has it, throws to third. It is in time.
What a play. Fletch, great instincts. They're going to take a look at it. Menace is like he's not sure. Thought he got him. They got to look at it though.
Fletcher did not have a lot on the throw. The White Sox are still holding. They haven't asked yet. Now they have.
Chicago is challenging the out call at third base.
He's out.
No, he's definitely out.
He's out.
Oh, he's 100%.
Yeah, he's definitely out on that one.
It took him as a moment to get to the base on sort of a pop-up slide. You see the ball hitting the webbing of Rengifo's glove there before Jimenez slides in. You know, it's the fact that he went into a pop-up slide that made him out. Had he run or at least slid straight to the bag with his foot out, he might have gotten there.
That was an incredible play by Fletch. His instincts, we talk about it so often, whether he's at the plate or in the field or on the bases. What a great play that was.
Well, after the Neto injury, this made a lot of sense to have Fletcher come back.
After review, the call in the field is confirmed. The runner is out. Chicago will lose their challenge.
And that is our Arco top-tier play of the night. David Fletcher, an outstanding play. Good job by Luis Rengifo to get the third. That's going to be your only play at third base. And that pop slide, that foot went up just enough to get the force out at third base.
Well, great play by Fletcher. Now 2 outs in the batter, Gavin Sheets. Strike 1 from Jacob Webb. Strike 2, a swing and a miss on the changeup. And that's Webb's best offering, especially to a lefty. Buried
try to
that
get
one.
Yeah, it's good try to get a chase on that one.
Line toward right center, base hit for Sheets. It will score a run. Frazier comes home, Berger goes to third. It's a one-run game.
Tried to go upstairs with a fastball, and Sheets did a really good job as far as bringing his hands up and making contact on that one. That's how strong he is. Got him to chase out of the zone, but made contact. Went away from his changeup, jumped on a fastball.
Shoulder high, and Sheets tomahawked it for a base hit. Now he comes out. And the White Sox send Adam Hazley to pinch run. That run is charged to Ohtani. Elvis Andrus can be a pesky hitter. Over 2,000 career hits. Jacob Webb starts him with a strike. He hasn't had much offense this year. Had a pretty good year last year, which is why the White Sox wanted to bring him back this season. Ground ball to second. Brandon Drury has it. The Angels get out of the inning with the lead. But the White Sox score one, and now it's a one-run game. And stay to enjoy a post-game Saturday night fireworks show driven by your helpful SoCal Honda dealers. Visit angels.com/promotions for more details. White Sox make some changes as Pedro Grifol is out trying to explain to the home plate umpire what the changes are. Alberto Ortiz trying to keep track of it all. Sebi Zavala is the new catcher. I would imagine Zavala would hit eighth where Sheets had been. Zach Remillard goes in, and I would imagine that he would bat sixth where Grandal had been, just to get Zavala further down the order. That would be my guess. Kind of a double switch to put Remillard in the game at third. Both pinch runners come out of the game, Frazier and Hazley. Neither one stayed in.
Yeah, you're looking for those insurance runs now. The White Sox got right back in the game. That one run there.
The Angels are 10-5 in games where Shohei has been the starting pitcher this year. In the 5 losses, they've combined for a total of 9 runs. In those games they haven't won, it's not because of the pitcher. It's been because the offense hasn't provided for him. Moniak gets a line drive to right, but right at Eloy Jimenez. And there's one out.
When you go back to Shohei Ohtani with him coming to play now, what he did in his first at bat against Kopech. 1-0 fastball down the heart of the plate. So he checks it, watches it, and then he gets that 2-1 fastball, the exact same spot, same exact velocity on the fastball, and Shohei did not miss that one. We showed it before where Shohei Ohtani, the pitcher, will set up pitchers in the hitting position, and he did, and he hit it out.
Kia player profile. Shohei has been launching fastballs, a dozen homers off of those, and 10 off the breaking ball too. 27 already for the year. And Shohei Ohtani is well on the pace to set a new Angels single season home run record this year. He almost got to it a couple of years ago. Troy Glaus still stands at the top spot on that list.
Outstanding offensive game already for Shohei. Home run, walk, and a single. And that single was about 110, 111 miles per hour exit velocity. Remember, he touched 99 on a fastball today.
Toussaint drops in a curve. Toussaint was with Cleveland and made one start, and then he got DFA'd. Ohtani hits one in the air, left center field, hit well. Robert is back, so is Benintendi. It's gone! Shohei Ohtani with his second of the night. And the Angels add to the lead. It's 3-1.
Kabuto time. Indescribable how great Shohei Ohtani is. Home run, left center. That is just unreal. He is not human. And his picture taken. Oh, my word.
Yeah, the Angels, right before that swing, they just announced that Shohei left the game from a pitching standpoint due to a cracked fingernail.
Well, he crushed that baseball. Took it out on the baseball. I don't blame him.
That is absurd. 28 home runs. He has hit 13 in June. That ties the franchise record for the most home runs in any month. He still has a few days here before the calendar flips to July to set a new franchise record for home runs in a single month.
It's just wow. Just wow. That's all you can describe him.
.404 feet. If his fingernail wasn't cracked, I'd have hit it .454.
I mean, what a swing this is again by Shohei. I mean, it's a pitch down and away and still that strong. Remember, he went 6 1/3 on the mound today with 10 punch outs, so you know the lower half should be tired, but it wasn't.
That is the first time Shohei has had a multi-home run game where he has been the starting pitcher. Kind of one-handed that ball.
Ippei's going, yeah, you hit that ball pretty good, huh?
Yeah, with one arm. it's absurd.
Yes.
Well, you just can't take it for granted. You really have to marvel every time, because it's never been done before. There's been so many players, greats of the greats of the greats, and no one has done what this guy has done. It's unbelievable.
I mean, that's the other way on a pitch down and away. I love the reaction for the fans. That was amazing.
These fans have really saluted him tonight. It was a big ovation after he came off the mound. It is Japanese Heritage Night.
And look at that, still with that great sense of humor he has, especially with Hector Sandoval. I love that.
I've never seen an MVP award solidified in June. There's no way anybody can win the MVP this year in the American League. I mean, he is an absolute tear right now.
I think they're going to the bullpen here again. He's unreal.
Touki Toussaint giving up a hit as a White Sox pitcher for the first time. And Pedro Grifol will go to his bullpen in a 2-run game. It has been showtime almost on another level tonight. In a game where Shohei Ohtani has allowed 1 run in 6 1/3 innings while striking out 10. He's also hit 2 home runs, and the Angels have a 3-1 lead.
Yeah, I was on High Heat with Alana Rizzo this morning, Wayne, and she asked me to describe Shohei Ohtani. I said there's times where you just don't feel like he's real. Well, that's one of those times going right now for Shohei. 2 home runs, a single, a walk, 6 1/3, 10 strikeouts in the game on the mound. That is not real.
Mike Moustakas bats with the man on. Brandon Drury walking against Tucson. Now Drury comes out of the game. Andrew Velasquez goes in as a pinch runner. So Velasquez and Fletcher will be the double play combination here. Much more of the norm to take out a batter for defensive purposes when you're the team that's winning, not when you're the team that's behind, like the White Sox have done. They took Yasmani Grandal and Gavin Sheets out of this game.
Two major threats hit the ball out of the ballpark.
And last night, Pedro Grifol did the opposite. He took out Zavala for Grandal when they needed defense in a tie game. Well, that's their problem. Mike Moustakas at the plate here. The count 1 ball, no strikes. Now it's 2-0 on Moustakas, who made his Angels debut yesterday. Chatsworth High School in Los Angeles. Velasquez is running. Zavala's throw is not in time. Andrew Velasquez steals a base.
Gets in the scoring position for Moustakas as you try to get those extra runs here.
Angels lead by 2. Chris Davinsky's throwing now in the Angel bullpen. Could use a good outing. Last couple have been a little rougher for Davinsky. Have been so good. He's going to run into some trouble at some point. He'll try to get back on track tonight.
His 12th game versus the White Sox in his career, got an ERA exactly 3.
Moustakas with a ground ball, base hit. Velasquez around third, heads for the plate. He'll score easily. Mike Moustakas has his first RBI as an Angel, and the Halo lead is 4-1.
Stayed on this baseball and gets it through the middle for an RBI single for Moose, and the fans chanting Moose. We had a chance to talk to him today, Erica and I, for upcoming Angels Weekly, and he said he was so thrilled to be able to put on this Angel uniform and see the fan support he's getting already.
He's a local kid. He has got a great pedigree. I mean, he's been a 3-time All-Star. He's won a World Series. And it's a signal, along with Escobar, that this team's going for it. They're in the race. They are very much a part of the playoff picture. And over the next month, as we get closer to the trade deadline, they're not done. They're going to go for it. 2 balls, no strikes on Taylor Ward. Now taking off as the ball goes down the right field line. Zavala just chucked it into the corner, and Moustakas goes all the way to third.
Well, the Moose was definitely loose there. All the way to third. He had a big smile when he got to third base. Secondary lead, the little back pick. And no one quite ready.
Yeah, Berger wasn't even looking.
No.
Zavala just casually threw it. It wasn't one of those aggressive back picks that you normally see from a catcher. He just casually tossed it to first, trying to catch Moustakas napping. Instead, he caught Berger napping.
Keep thinking of have a burger and nap. Taking a nap after a burger.
The White Sox, aside from Robert, who could win a Gold Glove this year, they've been a horrid defensive team. They enter tonight with minus 28 defensive runs saved. Only the Oakland A's have been a worse defensive team. There's ball 4 to Ward. The 10th walk tonight from a White Sox pitcher. The final week of the 2023 Scott's MLB All-Star ballot is here. Decide if Mike Trout is in the starting lineup this summer by scanning that QR code or vote daily at MLB.com/vote. Trout is in first place among American League outfielders in phase 2 of the voting.
Yeah, you got to get Mike Trout. When you talk about all-star games, the very best players, Mike Trout deserves to be there. So get back out there and vote for Trout. Get him in the all-star game.
The voting ends on Thursday morning, and one of the early introductions to Mike Trout's big league career came 11 years ago tonight, flying to rob J.J. Hardy of a home run in Baltimore.
And very much happy Jared Weaver on that play.
What a play. Take our word for it.
Yes.
A permanent scowl on Jared Weaver's
Torrey
face.
Hunter again, too, Bob there. Come over and say, you know, Mike, I used to do that quite a bit. And Trout goes, yeah, I don't know how high you went up on that wall, but he did so. But Trout went way up above the wall on that one.
Trout not in the lineup tonight, but very well could be and should be in the All-Star game in a couple weeks in Seattle. Voting ends Thursday morning for phase 2 of the voting. Hunter Renfroe swings and misses on 98-mile-an-hour sinker from Gregory Santos. There's allowed a base hit and a walk to the first 2 batters that he's faced.
Well, I love that reaction of the fans with Mike Moustakas. He's already the guy that everyone wants to get rallied behind. And RBI single over to third base. Fans are into this game. Shohei is dominating.
Line to third, caught by Remillard. Throw to first, not in time. So Renfroe with a hard hit out. Luis Rengifo will be the batter. Rengifo's got a triple and a run scored tonight. Moustakas with an RBI base hit in this inning. Shohei hit his second home run. Rengifo swings and misses. Ohtani entered the night hitting .375 in games that he has pitched, and now he has gone 3 for 3 tonight. So he's at the average up to .407 in games that he has pitched in this year.
Batting average overall this season, .304. Leading the world in home runs, RBIs, OPS. Oh yeah, 127 strikeouts too on the season.
The American League's leading hitter is Austin Hayes of the Orioles, batting .319. Bo Bichette, Yandy Diaz also ahead of Shohei in batting average. Shohei is first in home runs and RBIs. He has now homered 5 times in games that he has pitched this year and 10 times in his career. So for whatever reason this season he has taken a big step forward hitting in the games that he has pitched in.
More than likely he'll get another at bat here too.
Angels would need to get one more base runner to at least guarantee another at bat for Shohei.
Imagine if he hits 3 home runs in a game he pitches. Well, I guess we can't imagine that.
Yeah, imagine the unimaginable, because that's the capability that he has. Stolen base attempt for Taylor Ward, but Rengifo strikes out to end the inning. Shohei Ohtani has had his second home run tonight, his 28th of the year, and the Angels extend their lead with a 2-run 7th.
Devo with some new ink today, and here is why. Devo and Sam Bachman visited a local children's hospital earlier today, and Chris had the patients sign his arm. You can see it on the inside of his right forearm there. After visiting the hospital today, for those who were too young to sign, he had Sam sign their name on their behalf. The two of them also both shaved their heads together after they left the hospital to show support for the kids. These two incredible humans doing great things in the community earlier today.
Yeah, that gives you goosebumps. And I saw Sam Bachman's head earlier today. Same thing with Chris Davinsky. That is amazing what they did.
That really is. That is some special work from Chris Davinsky and Sam Bachman today. Velasquez is the new shortstop as Fletcher moves to second base. The Angels trying to beef up their defense with a lead. There's a strike from Davinsky on the changeup. Check swing, strike three. Punched out by Roberto Ortiz. Benintendi strikes out. So one away, and here's a quick word from Kia.
The turbocharged, tech-inspired Kia Forte.
Tim Anderson, the batter, he has struck out 3 times tonight. Davinsky giving back to the community, a community that has certainly helped him out of Cerritos, California. Went to Gar High School. Worked as a security guard here at Angel Stadium. Anderson with a bouncer to third. Luis Rengifo with a strong arm shows it off.
And he's been making some strong throws across the diamond here. The series so far for Rengifo.
2 outs, and the batter will be Robert. We talked about Davinsky being a great mover. He can move furniture. It's because his dad owns a moving company in Southern California.
And anybody that's ever moved furniture like that, it's one of the toughest jobs. I mean, that is extremely tough.
Luis Robert, the batter here in the 8th inning. Waves out a slider, and it's 0-2.
He tried to get a chase in on that one after the slider just off the plate, and he swung at it. Why not try to get a chase?
Swing and a miss. Robert strikes out. Chris Davinsky back on track with a 1-2-3-8. Angels baseball and Valley Sports brought to you by Spectrum One. Internet, advanced Wi-Fi, and mobile for just $49.99 a month. Visit Spectrum.com. And by Pacifico, rich golden lager brewed for those who follow their own path. Pacifico, live life, anchors up. The ultimate version of following your own path. Shohei Ohtani tonight, 2 home runs, 10 strikeouts. StatCast powered by Google Cloud shows you something that is just completely silly.
Yeah, it's impossible. You'll never see that. I mean, it's incredible. 10 strikeouts, 4 with a splitter, 3 cutter, 2 sweeper, 4 seamer, and then 2 home runs.
It's a small list of pitchers who have had 10 strikeout games and multi-home run games in the same game. It's happened a couple of times recently with Madison Bumgarner and Zach Greinke. That's all fine and good. But dating back to the start of last season, Shohei has the most 10 strikeout games in the major leagues. And this year he has the most home runs in the major leagues. So it's not just that he's done it all in one night. It's that it is compounded the way that it has for Shohei. And it has been showtime.
And a perfect environment here, perfect setting here tonight with Japanese Heritage Night here at the Big A, and Shohei Ohtani. Wow. Phil Nevins going, man, you're unbelievably good.
Phil Nevins going to hug him, and he might never let go.
Said, how did you hit that out? You split your fingernail like that, and you still hit a ball that far?
10 strikeout night. Shohei has a 3.02 ERA after allowing just 1 run tonight, and a 3.04 batting average. With 28 home runs, major league high. He is now 64 RBIs. Major league leader in that category. Ronaldo Lopez, the new pitcher for the White Sox, who was the losing pitcher yesterday thanks to a walk-off wild pitch. Angels will need a base runner in this inning to give Shohei an at-bat. Another at-bat. He's 3 for 3 tonight with those 2 home runs.
And he had away quickly in that dugout. Marcus Thames and Shohei are looking down to make sure everyone's okay.
Head off the facing of the camera well, I think. Chopper to third as Zach Remillard throws it across. And 1 out. Embrace your inner all-star. The action begins with the T-Mobile Home Run Derby. ESPN July 10th at 4 p.m. Pacific. Then catch the 93rd MLB All-Star Game presented by MasterCard July 11th at 4 p.m. Pacific on Fox. Shohei will be at the All-Star Game. Has participated in the Home Run Derby before. Coors Field a couple of years ago. And Julio Rodriguez, the hometown star for the Mariners, will be in the Home Run Derby. I'm sure that roster will be announced soon after the All-Star rosters come out, I believe, Sunday. Fletcher with a little squibbing ground ball. Remillard takes care of it and throws out Fletcher. So 2 outs. Moniak will have to reach base to give Ohtani another at bat. The Yankees lost tonight, so as far as the wild card goes, the Angels can gain ground on the Yankees, the Blue Jays, and the Astros.
At this point at the halfway mark, they would be in the postseason. The Halos, if they hold on to this lead.
They would be tied with the Yankees for the second wild card spot. And we think ahead to some of these games that are coming up for the Angels in the month of July. And they have the Yankees and the Astros in the first homestand right after the All-Star break. Those are big games, especially, and then they go to Toronto at the end of July, especially because there is no tie-breaking scenario. It's head-to-head matchups. There's no more game 163 tiebreaker. You have to have a better record in the head-to-head games to break the tie in your favor as Estevez gets ready in the bullpen. So those games against Houston, the Yankees, the Blue Jays, those are monstrous games now.
Especially considered all 3 of those teams have got winning records against the Angels so far.
Moniak strikes out. And don't sleep on the division either. The Yankees only, or the Angels only 5 back in the AL West.
Today, well, show me the way, and Shohei showed the way to a potential W here today with 2 home runs and a single, a walk at the plate on the mound. 6 1/3, 1 run allowed, 10 strikeouts. Show me the way. Well, he certainly did so far tonight.
Carlos Estevez has a chance at an Angels record tonight. If he gets his 20th save, it'll be the most consecutive successful save conversions to start a season in franchise history, breaking Lee Smith's 1995 record. Carlos Estevez should be very in tune to the All-Star roster selection show on Sunday because his name could get called too. Ohtani has already been selected as a starter. Trout likely will be by the end of voting on Thursday morning. And Estevez should be right there along with those 2 as Eloy Jimenez leads off the top of the 9th.
Jimenez, the one batter today for the White Sox, has been very, very good. A double against Shohei down the line, and a line drive right back up the middle against Shohei Ohtani. 2 for 3.
He can swing the bat. There's no question. This guy can really hit. And he swings and hits this one to the gap in left center field. So Eloy Jimenez having a strong night at the plate. 3 hits, including 2 doubles, as he begins the top of the 9th inning.
Stay right on this pitch. Has hit 3 baseballs really well today. A couple doubles. I've given him 11 now on the season.
Now, keep in mind, this is getting near the spot in the order for the White Sox where they removed a couple of their better hitters for pinch runners when they were trailing in this game. So they'll have to try to come back here without some of their better hitters. Grandal is out of the game. Gavin Sheets is out of the game. So that could come into play here in the top of the 9th inning against Carlos Estevez. Vaughn has a base hit, and now the tying run will come to the plate. Jimenez on his way home. He'll score. It's 4-2 as Estevez has given up a run.
And with that pitch, goes the other way. An RBI single on a 98-mile-an-hour fastball.
Estevez did come in the game yesterday, but he only threw 5 pitches. It was a very quick inning as he ended up earning the win. Trying to reach 20 for 20 in save tries. Here's Zach Remillard. He looks at a strike. Shohei is in line for the win. It would be his 7th. Estevez still needs to get 3 outs here against the bottom part of the White Sox order now. Jake Burger has power. He's on deck.
Well, you love a ground ball double play right here.
Hit hard up the middle. It's past Fletcher. It's another hit for the White Sox. 3 in a row to start the 9th inning against Carlos Estevez. Now some real trouble brewing as the Angels try to hold this lead. Here comes Matt Wise.
The slider just went right back up the middle again.
Jake Burger is 0 for 3. He's 3 for his last 38. He has a lot of power. 17 home runs from Burger this year. On the other side of that, doesn't run very well, so ground ball at somebody could create a couple of outs. Getting tight here late at Angel Stadium in the top of the 9th. 0-1 from Carlos Estevez. Estevez has been perfect in save tries this year. He's trying to stay that way in number 20. Swing and a miss by Burger. Fastball at 99.
He ran that just above the strike zone there.
On deck is Sebi Zavala, then Elvis Andrus. Swing and a miss by Burger. It's 1-2.
Trying to amp it up there to get the job done now.
Burger calling time with 2 strikes. Ground ball to the right side. Fletcher able to get to it. Then he bobbles, throws too late to first. Everybody's safe. He was thinking about throwing to second base until that bobble. And as he came back down with the baseball, he took a shot at first, but that was too late. And now the White Sox have the bases loaded with nobody out.
Yeah, that's all he's trying to do is think about it, just keeping that force out at second base, but on the transfer, unable to get a grip of the baseball.
They give Burger a hit. It's the 4th of the inning. Now Zavala fouls one off.
Wow, nice play by a fan here. For a great defensive play here by the Halos.
4 straight hits have begun the top of the 9th. The White Sox have life. The Angels trying to win back-to-back games to start this series. 0-2 on Sebi Zavala. Estevez just trying to reset, get an out, get a couple of outs. Trying to save it on Shohei's big night. And Zavala fouls off another.
Out of the strike zone on that slider.
"13 pitches for Estevez, and in that time he's already given up 4 hits. That slider was up and out. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Challenged Zavala with a fastball right down the middle and punched him out. 1 away.
That's a huge strikeout there for Carlos Estevez. Stayed back, kept that front shoulder in. Great leverage and a lot on that fastball.
Now it's Elvis Andrus, the batter, 0 for 2 tonight. He has walked. Andrus has not hit into a double play this year. Still has pretty good speed. Takes a strike.
Used to be a guy that would hit into double plays, though.
Now, 1 year he actually almost led the majors in stolen bases and double plays, something that's only been done a couple of times in history. He got close. Swings and misses for strike 2. That's a couple of times Estevez has kind of awkwardly landed. Time he fell almost all the way off the mound.
He's really trying to overthrow here and drive towards home plate. And you see when he gets to that landing spot, there's been a number of different arms in this game. Slid there.
Ground ball to short. Velasquez to Fletcher for 1. Over to first, 2. Saying goodnight to the White Sox. The Angels hold them off for the 9th. They've won back-to-back games to start this series. And save number 20 for Carlos Estevez sets an Angels record. He holds it down on Shohei's big night.
Oh, what a job turning that double play ball. No panic, a big strikeout, then a ground ball double play by Carlos Estevez. Quick flip by Squid over to Fletch, a low throw, but then the transfer able to get a very quick runner going down the line. What a game. This is one of those games you just have to win. Shohei was that special. Incredible night by Shohei Ohtani.
All smiles for Shohei. This was his stage tonight. His performance carried the Angels to victory. Ohtani struck out 10 on the mound. He earns the victory. He hits 2 home runs in this game. There's the whole franchise right there. Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani celebrating the Angels' 44th win in their 81st game. Exactly halfway through, and this team on pace for 88 wins. Shohei on pace for 56 homers. We started this game with a couple of strikeouts and then started teeing off.
An indescribable night for Shohei Ohtani. 3 for 3, 2 home runs, a single, a walk. Mammoth home run to right center. The other way on a pretty good pitch to left center. Unreal game for Shohei.
Shohei very clearly our Toyota player of the game. He and Ippei are standing by right now with Erica Weston.
All right, guys, thanks very much. Shohei, what a night for you pitching on the mound, your first multi-home run game as a pitcher. How much was that just a matter of it happening? You knew that you were going to hit multiple home runs a night you were on the mound.
ピッチャーとして登板時にマルチホームラン打つの初めてですけど、どうでしたか全体的に。ピッチングもそこそこ良かったので、今年は打席もいい内容多いですし、いい打席を多く送れてるなと思ってます。Yeah, I thought I pitched pretty well today, and on the days I pitch, I've been hitting pretty well this year, so I'll try to keep that up.
You certainly have been hitting well the days that you've been pitching, but 10 strikeouts on the mound tonight, had the splitter going early. What did you say? How do you feel about the way you pitched out there tonight?
おっしゃる通り、ピッチングの方も良くて10三振で、特にスプリットが今日いいように見えましたけど、どうでしょうか、自分では。そうですね、決め球も良かったですし、7回しっかり抑えてからきっちり回終わりたかったですけど、中継ぎに助けられていいゲームだったなと思います。Yeah, I felt pretty good overall, but I wish I could have finished off that 7th inning, but the relievers came in and they saved me, so really happy we got the win.
They did a nice job coming in after you last one, Shohei. It's Japanese Heritage Night tonight here at the ballpark. You have all of the fans here in attendance chanting MVP for you. What does it mean to hear them in June chanting MVP?
これね、こんなに大勢のファンの方の前でプレーしてどうでしたか、歓声を聞きながら。そうです、マウンドでも打席でも、励みになっているので、もっともっと大きい声援もらえたら嬉しいなと思います。The fans, they always help me out on the mound and in the box. So I mean, the louder the better. So let's try to get louder next time.
You heard him. Thanks, Shohei. Arigato.
The spectacular Shohei. And there was a spectacle tonight at Angel Stadium. A 10-strikeout game, a 2-homer game, and an Angels win. As they've taken the first 2 in this series, they beat the White Sox 4-2. For Marco Bazan, Erica West, and our entire crew, I'm Wayne Randazzo. As we say goodnight, the halo will shine brightly tonight at Angel Stadium after a 4-2 win. Angels Live postgame presented by OC Navigator coming up right now.